Well, I know John's chomping at the bit to talk about survival beer. We got skipped last time, and we'll probably get skipped tonight, which will be kind of fun. I'm also a big fan.
As long as I get to tell my story.
I'm a big fan of driving tanks into stores to get wine.
Right? Is that awesome or what?
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there. Shit, man.
Were they pissed off at the Amazon no checkout person checkout or what?
The Amazon market.
You could bring up the Philly promise, like if they win, then some guy's buying a beer for everybody in Philadelphia. And then you could lead into how we made that promise and then we ended up winning a fucking podcast award. And I know that Lori's up for something fancy, so she's just got to make a big promise, like Cabernet Franc for everybody, and
yeah, she shouldn't do that one because she's like crushing the competition in that contest. So
oh my god, I'm so nervous. Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
And last I checked, Ryan O'Hara was kind of well out in front as well.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm pretty stoked.
2/5 of the clown car may be back together in Bordeaux.
Yeah, I've never been, so I'm beyond ecstatic, and this has been a very long 2 weeks.
When does the voting close for that?
Monday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's whatever European time is. I think midnight, but I don't know if that means midnight Monday into Tuesday or midnight Sunday into Monday. But I think it's Sunday into Monday because when I woke up Monday morning, they had already told me I was a finalist.
Okay.
So I think.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that would be super exciting.
I'm a wreck. But it was a hell of a weekend. That was a great weekend. The double gold, then that.
Yeah.
And we got into our first restaurant here in New Jersey.
Yeah.
In that same weekend.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, we better not spill all the beans here.
Oh, sorry. Oh, we're live.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say, even though it's not going to make a difference and we're not going to get to talk about it, I'm going to say we'll go with John's adventure beer.
Okay.
And John, there's like 0.00001 chance that we'll get to that tonight.
Okay.
Poor John.
I was stoked to talk about it last week. I'm not stoked to talk about it this week. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
And no snake story?
I have a snake story. Yes.
Is it in the? Do you got? All right, we'll get to it and what's up then, I guess.
Yeah, if you cue me up, I'll give you some music for that one too.
Oh, for John's, we got John's got a story. Where should we put that in? We haven't had that one in a while.
I promise I'll keep it to 15 seconds.
All right, we'll put it here. All right. You guys all set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I don't pump the audio through anymore because it just messed too much stuff up. So it's just going to go quiet for a while. You'll see me bouncing my head, and then we'll just get into the show. So sorry, I am working on it. The next couple of weeks, I hope to have it all squared away. All right. Shut up, John. Here we go. Thank you for joining us for the We Like Drinking Show, episode 159. In this episode, we'll be discussing Paso Robles, the Dirty Jers, and double gold, award-winning, American-made Cabernet Franc. So crack open your beer, uncork that wine, and let's get drinking. Oh man, I am telling you something. I have been excited for tonight's episode for weeks. Listeners, you are in for one hell of a treat this week as we get into some awesome wine with some awesome people as John chugs down his first beer in 15 seconds of this show. John's got one killed.
No, I don't. I still have a third of it left.
Oh, okay. Here we go. You just tipped it back like you were killing it. All right. So cheers, drinkers. Welcome to episode 159. I am excited about this show. And you may notice my energy is high and it pales in comparison to what we're about to unleash on you with our guest tonight. But before we get to that, Jeff Solomon.
Yeah.
I'm giving you this part of the show every week. Lay something down on our listeners.
All right. So the deal is whatever podcasting app you are on, go ahead and take a look at our awesome bird logo that took us like 3 weeks to decide on, and then 3 months to get somebody to stay alive while they drew it.
That's not a lie.
So go ahead and check that. As you're looking at that, scroll down, hit the subscribe button. Then what you do is you pick up the phone of your significant other and you do the same thing. Do it over and over and over again. Pick people's pockets like you're the Artful Dodger and subscribe to the We Like Drinking podcast and the Dracena Wine podcast. Do it for that too.
Jeff Solomon, can I have some more?
More? Yes.
That's right.
You can subscribe as much as you want, Oliver.
Please do. All right. So let's get into this, folks, because we only got an hour and we got a lot to talk about. So drinking with us tonight, we've got our usual cast of characters. We have our wine blogger and posting like a madman, Jeff Solomon.
Yeah, I actually posted something. Wow.
Our commercial brewer, John Ruyak, and I am your host, Jeff Eccles. How you guys doing this evening?
Doing well. Keeping up with my "We'll drink the bad beer for you." I had one of these on the show last week, and it was on sale for 5,000 colones. So how could I go wrong?
5,000 colones. Jeff, what are you drinking?
I'm doing fantastically well, and I am drinking something that I drank from the exact same bottle from 2 weeks prior. This is the Jason Stevens 2014 Persing Vineyard Cabernet Sauvignon. Why am I drinking the same wine twice? Because it's got a re-pour on top of it, and as promised, I am going to revisit this real quick.
Excellent. Go ahead and pour yourself that glass, and then we're going to come back to your tasting notes on it.
For sure.
Because I am drinking something as well that I'm not going to share with anybody quite yet. Because we need to move on to our guest tonight. She is sitting there patiently. It is 2:15 a.m., I believe, her time. Our guest tonight is the owner, along with her husband, Michael, of the award-winning boutique winery, Dracaena Wines, located in beautiful Paso Robles, California. She is also the founder of #CabFrancDay on Twitter. She is a blogger and the host of her own podcast at Dracaena Wines. She has more energy and hustle than our entire panel put together. Please help us welcome Lori Budd. How you doing, Lori?
Hi, guys. I'm good. I'm actually really wide awake.
I think like you are at all time. Do you sleep?
Not a whole night, no.
So listeners, this will be a bit of a I don't know. We'll do our best to keep you informed on everything that's going on. But Lori and Jeff and I all hung out a lot at the Wine Bloggers Conference and got to know each other really well. So we will try to backtrack ourselves a little bit to give you all the deets on Lori and Dracaena Wines. But there might be some inside baseball going on that even John doesn't know about. So, sorry guys.
Oh,
Sorry. I did share the clown car photo again today.
I was gonna say, I think that needs to be the cover of this episode, because I think, you spend that much time in a car that small with somebody, you're gonna get to know them pretty well.
Now, Lori, you've worked with the Report.
Yes, I have.
Were you impressed by it?
I was. I have a couple. I was lucky enough. I got a 4-pack. Woo!
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So I've used 2 of them so far, and both times I am impressed. It is, it does what it's supposed to do, and I did write about it. It was a Christmas gift, under the tree gift, on my blog.
Yeah, agreed. We did the same thing. All right, so Jeff.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I mean, quick and easy. This Report, again, and I'll keep saying, I need to like trademark when I say it's their proprietary blend of herbs and spices, because I know they don't say that. But basically, like, this is a wine top that sucks all the oxygen out. And so the idea is that we're keeping this wine fresh. So I had opened this 2 weeks ago, and I was looking back at my notes on this beautiful Santa Clara Valley Cabernet Sauvignon. And there's nothing that I'm missing here. Like, I'm still getting these like great brambly black and raspberry notes on the nose. On the palate, I'm still getting these nice red fruits, these chalky tannins, and really it doesn't taste any different. I remember, Jeff, you were saying when you tried the Report, like, it was a couple weeks later, and you said, like, it maybe tastes a little bit like I was drinking the wine the next day. Mm-hmm. And I can see that. Like, it might kind of come across as a wine that you had open for a couple hours, as opposed to 2 weeks. And so as far as any other wine preservation system in this price range, like, it's great. This is awesome. The only drawback is it's a single use, but it's so cheap for one of them. You might get, it's cheaper than a lot of reusable wine corks that are in your junk drawer right now. And so just for that, like, I totally think this is worth it. And if you got like this baller wine that you're thinking about drinking over the course of a couple of days and you're afraid it's not going to stay that fresh, I think that's the perfect thing for it. So kudos to the Report and to Jason Stevens. Shout out to Gilroy.
Nice, there you go. All right, Lori, let's do this. So give people a little context here. You live in New Jersey.
Yeah, I am bi-coastal.
You own a winery in Paso Robles.
Yep.
And so how often are you flying over me in Colorado?
A lot. United, I tend to take the same flights. So here in Jersey, I teach. So I go to school and then I leave from school and I head to the airport. So I tend to be on the same flight all the time, and it's usually the same crew. And I'm like, yeah, I'm back. How you doing? Same seat. I'm really good. I am 21C. It is my seat. It's about every month I go.
Okay.
So it is a lot, and there is maybe a few, on sick days. But anytime school is out, I'm there. Summer there, whenever I can get there.
Okay.
But yeah.
Wow. For a second, it sounded like every day after school, I drive straight to the airport,
That's kind of how it
fly to
feels like.
Paso, get off the plane, fall asleep, wake up, same thing.
Yeah, and then to get back to spend as much time in California as possible, I usually leave on like a 5:30 flight.
Oh, wow.
And then I get into Jersey at about 5:30 and get in my car and go right to school and work that day. Yeah. So it's my kids are like, oh, you were in California, weren't you? Yeah.
Is that because you're tired or because of the purple teeth?
Oh yeah, maybe a combination of both.
Okay, so Dracena Wines. There's so many stories. There's so many awesome stories here with Dracena Wines. So when did you launch? When did you start, and when was your first vintage?
So the first vintage was 2013, and so literally we were behind the 8 ball with that one. So we decided in, I guess, I don't know, we became a corporation. We became the winery in January of 2013. And then we harvested that year, but we were kind of behind the 8 ball. So we had to like find our way into getting fruit in Paso. So 2013, we were on the west side of Paso, and then 2013 and 14, we were west side. 2015, we found Joe Plummer, who has Plummer Vineyards on the east side, and I love this man. I mean, he's a chemical engineer prior to, or mechanical engineer. They all confuse me, but some engineer. And before he did the farming, and I've got all the, both Mike and I have the science background. So he's got this science background. He amazed me from day one. We had to interview with him once on the phone. Then we had to go to Paso and be interviewed by him in his house, and before he would agree to sell us his fruit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it, I was like sitting there like, it was, and he agreed. And so we've been with him since 2015. So, 2 years with him. He's got his vineyards, his blocks 8 degrees off from everybody else, because scientifically the sun hits this at that angle, and and like that, I'm like, that's awesome. Like 8 degrees, not 7, not 9, 8 degrees, so I love him, and we have a great relationship. And next year we're releasing a reserve so we will have a single vineyard Cabernet Franc, and it is from a specific clone. So we're advancing with him.
Very exciting. That is awesome. So right now, let's kind of do this. Right now, you have the Cabernet Franc.
Yes.
That's your
that is my one jam right now.
Your one thing, because do what you know.
Exactly.
Know what you do.
Yeah.
And that's what you got. But there's some exciting news coming up here.
Yes.
In like a little over a month, which is can you share that here?
I can share it. So in how many days are in January? 30 days, half September, 31, right?
31.
So,
yep.
All right. So in 7 days, we are bottling our first rosé. So
how
we
exciting!
Yes, and I am drinking a rosé in honor.
Nice.
Look at that color.
Yes, is that a pretty color?
That is a pretty color.
It is a pretty color.
So you're bottling on the 31st.
No, did I do bad math? I'm not good at math.
No, I'm
on the 1st.
Oh, on the 1st. Okay. No, I'm happy. I was scared for a second because on the 31st of this month, It's
Oh my God.
in 150-year thing. It's gonna be a super blue blood eclipse moon. And I was just afraid that the angle of the sun was gonna extract too much of the flavor if you bottled during a celestial event. So you're gonna be in between the super blue blood eclipse moon and before the huge asteroid that's going to fly over the Super Bowl.
Yes. We planned it perfectly.
Perfect. All right.
Perfect. We planned it perfectly.
If you could, if you're there on the 31st, if you could just bottle one bottle on the 31st for Jeff.
You know,
I mean, that wine may
I'll
come
pull
out.
that tractor trailer in just for you, Jeff. That's what I'll do. Yeah. I will get that tractor trailer in. We will back it in, and we will bottle one bottle.
One bottle.
Yeah, but
And
think of
it'll
the
probably come out
marketing.
blue.
Think of the marketing of a super blue blood eclipse moon.
Rosé.
That sounds like a label
Rosé.
to me. That sounds like an awesome name for a label. I might have to go. Mike will not be happy with me, but we might have to ditch all of the rosé labels and start again.
So
Can you see this after the podcast? Honey, I've got an idea for the guys of the podcast. Scrapping all the labeling.
Well, you know, there's nothing better Jeff Solomon likes to do than to tell business people how to run their business.
I was thinking about the other day.
I'm really good at that. John, I got some ideas for your brewery.
I'm sure you do.
So listeners, you can't see it, but I'm holding up the bottle of Dracaena Wines Cabernet Franc here. And there's a nice little Weimaraner here, yeah?
Yes, that is my Draco. That is my Draco. He is my he was my baby. We got him from a breeder. Like literally we got a phone call when his mom and dad bred. And then we got a picture of the sonogram when he was, in mommy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And his dad was second in the nation for Weimaraners and all, so he was a pretty popular guy. They wanted him to go in the ring. I wanted nothing to do with that. I wanted hug, hold. I don't want him in a ring. We had him for 14 years. And he was, we don't have kids. He was our child. Actually, we got him to see if we could have kids. Like, all right, let's get a dog first.
The test. Yep.
Test. Yeah, never moved on.
Yeah, not that Weimaraners don't have any energy or anything, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Not that they're at least as expensive as a kid.
Oh man, I got so many questions to get into with this.
I got a question.
Okay.
Why Cabernet Franc?
Okay. Why?
So
Cabernet Franc. So Mike and I visited William Harrison in Napa, and this woman behind the pouring counter said, "Oh, you know what? Try this wine." This was years and years ago. Try this wine. So all right. So she poured it, and both he and I were like, holy, like, whoa, this is like killer. And so we like, what is it? And they're like, Cab Franc. And I'm like, all right, we've never had this before. This is like great. And so then we were on I get a little bit obsessed with certain things.
What?
And so we were on a mission. Where's their Cab Franc? Where's their Cab Franc? And there's not a lot of it out there. So when we decided to do the winery, we were like, all right, well, what are we going to start with? And we knew it was Paso, but we're like, all right, so we can do a Zin, or we can do a Syrah, or, and I'm like, all right, I'm not competing with these people, who are established, who have, thousands of bottles and, or thousands of cases and everything. I said, we need to come up with something. And we were like, you know what? If this doesn't fly, we're drinking a hell of a lot of wine. So let's make something that we like. And, it's our own little niche, it is, there's not a lot of it out there, although there seems to be a lot more of it now. So I guess my Cab Franc day is kicking, whatever. But yeah, and so that was it. We fell in love with the grape varietal. It was first time we had it, and we hunted for it, couldn't find it. So we figured, let's get on in there.
We had that tasting episode. When was that? 6 months
man.
ago.
We did Cab Franc. I think was one of the first ones we did, wasn't it?
I don't know, but I just clarify your point is that, I mean, I went to Total Wines and they have what selection there? 4,000 wines, and I found 5 bottles of Cab Franc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
And
is.
I loved it.
It is underappreciated, and it gave Cabernet Sauvignon, the king of grapes, whatever, but Cab Franc, Sauvignon Blanc had a good night, and
I mean, it gave us Cabernet Sauvignon, it gave us Merlot, it gave us Carmenere.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes, it did.
Cabernet Franc gets around. Frank is a bit of a promiscuous.
Yeah, he is. He is.
And I gotta say, I'll be honest with you, like I love Cabernet Franc. I am a huge fan of it, but I'm a bit of a Francophile for the most part when it comes to Cab Franc. I mean, Loire Valley Cab Franc is like my jam, and usually a lot of the American stuff I don't like because it's usually a lot bigger than I like it. It's a lot fruitier than I like it. I like a little bit more reserved style in my Cab Franc. And you hit this really sweet spot of, it's not really old world, but it's not really new world. It's kind of this in between where it's got you get these kind of, I mean, it's you've got some nice red fruits that are coming out in it, but you've got these kind of earthy tones, and there's a bit of this pepper spice that's in it. And so you got this nice marriage between the old world and the new world that really fires on all cylinders with this wine. So, I mean, congratulations to you guys. I mean, this is a delicious bottle of Cab Franc, and I love it. And I'm so upset that I'm halfway through all of mine already. And so what do you guys have left for sale?
We're kind of low, which is a good thing, I guess.
2015? Is it just 2015?
Yeah, we sold out of our 13 and 14. Yeah. So we have about 28 cases left.
Oh man.
Yeah, okay. It went well.
Excellent. And I know there's some of our. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was just gonna say, while it's on topic, like I suppose, Lori, just why don't you give the website right now so people are like, oh, I want to taste this now. Just go right now. Go ahead.
It is it's simple. It's DracaenaWines.com. And just go under purchase. So it's DRACAENA wines plural.com. And we are there. You can order anytime you want online. And right now, in honor of the double gold, we are offering a coupon. So if you use double gold as a coupon, you get a nice little discount on your order. And we always offer free, not free, penny shipping.
Right.
Penny shipping for any case order.
So you ship out of Jersey then?
Everything comes out of California.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
Everything comes out of California, but we can ship to Jersey.
Okay.
So we actually just got our license in December to actually be for us to physically ship, not a third part. There's a big workaround.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's a big workaround, but we now can be in New Jersey, and we can be in restaurants in New Jersey now. And we are in restaurants in New Jersey. So yeah, we are in a restaurant. Anybody from Jersey listening, we are in a restaurant called Spuntino's, and it is a wine and tapas bar. and
Nice.
they have won the Wine Spectator Excellent Wine Award for the last 5 years straight. So
Nice.
pretty honored to be on that list.
And are you in any restaurants in Paso or in California?
In 10 places in California. So we are in Farmstead Kitchen and the Wine Boss in Paso. And then we are in, because our house is actually in Fresno. That's where we are when we're out there. And we are in 7 places or 8 places in Fresno. So
awesome. So you can get it in the Jurors and in California. That's awesome when you go out to eat.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Well, make sure you squirrel away a case or two for the verticals way down the line.
Yeah, I have to tell you, I had to get into a fight with Mike all the time over that. Because, we have a very big division of labor with this winery. Like, I do all of the website, I do all the social, media, I do all of that. And Mike basically takes care of all the legal stuff. And, he's really, he does the winemaking, the final decisions on the winemaking and all that stuff. I think we should do this or, whatever, but he does all the final stuff with that. So I'm like, all right, we can't sell all this stuff. We need to have cases for verticals in the future, And he's like, no, we can sell, get it now. And I'm like, no. So it's really, when we get down to the nitty gritty, it's always kind of an argument between us of how many cases. It's like a negotiation.
There's a deep, dark corner that he doesn't know about that you're just going to have to shuffle him off to and forget about him for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, it is. And you know what? I think I proved my point this year because just in the past 2 months, we've had 2 customers ask us, send us messages. I don't know what happened to my 14. I didn't buy it. I have the 13. I have the 15. I really want to do a vertical. Can I get the 14? And
yes, that will be $175. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So I was like, well, we can. And then I have to go to Mike and I'm like, see, if you would have let me save more cases, we'd have more. So, I've gotten him up to 5 cases, or I think I'm going to get him to 5 for the 15. I only got 3 out of the 14. So, and I think I got 2.5 out of the 13. So, I'm working my way up.
Let's see, 30 bottles.
And listeners, again, we're talking to Lori Budd from Dracaena Wines about her Paso Robles Cabernet Franc. Jeff or John, any other questions?
Well, okay, I got a couple. I want to lead one thing into another because, I have to say, as the creator of a particular drinking day myself, and I'm going to take all the credit, as the creators of World Porter Day, I do have to say, like, obviously, we're really jealous of how you've done Cabernet Franc Day right. How like I was telling you when I was talking to you when you said like, oh yeah, Cabernet Franc Day, that's me. I'm like, no, that's impossible. Because I'm like, no, I love Cabernet Franc Day. I'm totally into that. I'm like, no, there's not a person behind it, but like obviously we're not doing it right. But how does one develop a drinking day, and how does one get people to buy into it the way so many people have?
Again, I don't sleep. So it started because which you guys know, I'm kind of a wee bit sarcastic. My humor is, a little sarcastic. My kids at school are always like, are you serious or are you joking? And I'm like, you'll never know, But I was like, you know what? Cab Franc Day. There's no Cab Franc Day. There's Cab Sauvignon Day. There's Merlot month. There's, all this stuff. So I was like, you know what? We're going with Cab Franc Day. just started putting it out. I picked the day because Cardinal Richelieu's death, that's the anniversary of his death, because I hate days that rotate because you never remember them. So I picked that day. I started tweeting about it. I reached out to Julian Miguel, and he is a big influencer in wine, and he let me write a guest post on his website. I did that, and I just spent a lot of time tweeting about it and writing lots of blog posts about it and sending them out. And then the first year, when we trended, I almost keeled over. I couldn't believe it. And then I was like, you know what? Let's go further. Let's get wineries to submit samples and do all this stuff. But it literally consumes my life from October 1st through like December 10th. So it's December 4th, December 5th. I actually do sleep December 4th. I'm like, oh, I crashed that night. And then December 5th is all about, from December 5th to December 10th is kind of like gathering all the stats and all that, so that next year I can, sell it a little bit more. It's just spending a lot of time on social media, which I do probably more than I should, but I do.
But you're actually doing something with it. Us three knuckleheads over here, we just spend all our time on social media being sad. No, so Lori, we've got so much in common. We spend so much time on social media. We both invented days. And you were telling us about the double gold that you got for Dracaena Wines, and we're so happy for you for that. I too am an award winner.
You are.
Whether it's podcast awards or salsa bowls or just beating fools in 10K races that doesn't involve chugging beer. But I did want to take a moment to give you some props and maybe give you a chance to get a plug here, because you were up for an award that I refuse to pronounce because I'm sure I'm going to mess it up. So the floor is yours.
Yeah. So last Monday, I woke up to a very nice email that said I was a finalist for the Millésime Blog Awards, and I Googled Google pronunciation. But yeah, so I wrote a blog post about Portugal and how the political history affects how the wine is today. And I submitted it, and I am a finalist. And so for 2 weeks of pure hell for me, keep looking at Facebook. People can vote for their favorite post, and if I win, I go to Bordeaux for a week, and Bordeaux, Cab Franc.
Yeah.
So pretty darn excited about that.
That's so awesome. Yeah, Jeff.
So listeners, you're hearing this on Friday, the 26th. Voting for this closes on, we think, Sunday the 28th.
Yeah.
All right. So if you could, while you're going out and leaving us 5-star reviews and subscribing to the podcast, what's the best way that they can help you out and go vote for you? Because this isn't a direct website. It's got to be through Facebook, right?
Right. It has to be through Facebook, and it is a really, really long, it's weird to get to, I'm not going to lie. But if you check out, I can't even spell it, MILL. Oh my God, I can't even spell it. That's horrible, isn't it?
Oh, I know what we can do. Here's show notes.
Here's what you do.
Yeah.
Here's what you do. Right now, listeners, you're thinking, holy crap, there's only like 25 to 28 cases left of Dracaena Wines. If you go to the Dracaena Wines website, there is a pop-up that comes up that tells you to go vote. So here's what you do. Go visit DracenaWines.com, vote to send Lori to Bordeaux, then buy a couple bottles of wine so she can do something when she's in Bordeaux, just hang out with what they said to do. So do those two things, and that's how you do it.
Right. And I'm going to spell it for you now.
All right,
It is
here you go.
MILLESIMA. So if you go to Facebook and put that in the search, it'll come up, and then you can scroll down a little bit and it will say it's time to vote. And I am under the food and wine pairings category.
Wait a minute. Someone's spelling something. Is this grape hop or pop culture reference?
We haven't even gotten there yet. We haven't even gotten there yet.
Was that going to be?
Someone was spelling something.
I bet you that's what Jeff was going to do. He's going to say melasma.
It was. So I'm going to go search for something else.
Right.
You got to go search for something else.
Okay, let me think. All right, Lori, is there anything we're missing that that our listeners need to know about Lori or Dracaena Wines? Oh, the podcast.
Oh, the podcast, yeah.
You have your very own podcast as well.
I do. I have my very own podcast, and it basically I try to do two main things on it. One is Wine Fabette Street, which we just got sponsored.
Oh, did you really?
We did.
Nice.
We did. So Wink Wine Club is sponsoring us, and I have to get all the paperwork in or whatever. But yeah, so they are sponsoring us. But Wine Fabette Street was in my head. I know that a lot of people, when I talk to them, they're always like, well, wine intimidates me and I don't really get it. And I'm nervous to ask questions and it's really funny because we'll go out to dinner and everybody just hands me the wine list right away. And I'm like, well, you can pick. I don't, so I wanted to come up with a concept where I can teach, can't get the teacher out of me, teach wine education in an atmosphere that is really kind of laid back and goofy and fun. And I was like, you know what? I loved Sesame Street as a kid, kind of still do, and so I came up with Wine Fabette Street, and that is a monthly episode with Debbie Giaquindo, HV Wine Goddess. So we get together, and every month we pick the next letter of the day, and we discuss it. So talk about the history, do food pairings, some fast facts. We, of course, drink, talk about the wineries. So that is Wine Fabette Street. And then the other one is Dracaena Wines on Wine, where I interview somebody that's in the wine industry. So it might be a winemaker. Monday, it's not a podcast yet, but it's on the YouTube channel. I interviewed Alistair Veen, who won the British Columbia Sommelier of the Year award and is involved with this creation. Now, this is a gadget you guys got to get. It's called V-Spin.
Oh yeah, I saw you posting about this.
Yeah, so it hyper aerates it. So Jeff, like you're gonna love it. As when I saw it, it looks like an auger spinner.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It looks like a hot plate with the auger spinner. So I reached out to him. I'm like, this is an auger spinner. He's like, well, kind of, sort of. And I'm like, why did I not think of this? So he sent me one and I tried it and I was blown away. Like in 3 minutes, it opened up the wine and it was like amazing.
So is it basically, it looks like a little hurricane inside?
Yeah. You get the vortex and everything. It's so... It's so cool.
Now, Jeff Solomon actually did a post where he put wine through a blender one time. So it's not to that level, Jeff, but yeah, it's awesome. Like a
little bit more eloquent than a blender.
And it comes with
a Cuisinart.
It comes with its own decanter kind of. It's a decanter that you put on the auger, right?
Yeah, the decanter is I'm going to say that wrong too. Spiegeloo.
Spiegel?
The reed Spiegel. Yeah.
It's a Spiegel.
Spiegel.
My
That's
precious-
not right, is it?
Schmeigel.
Precious.
Spiegel catalog, Chicago, Illinois, 60609.
By the way, I would be
out.
using an auger spinner. I just didn't want to inoculate my my crisp steel tank Chardonnay with some malolactic and
You know,
And
no coliforms or anything like that.
And so if our listeners want to subscribe to yet another podcast, it's Dracaena Wines. Just
Podcast.
Dracaena
I was
Wines
real
podcast.
clever, wasn't I? I was thinking, just stick with the brand name. Just stick with the brand name. Dracaena
That's
Wines.
right.
Pod,
Always
Dracaena Wines Podcast.
always be Brandon. Always be Brandon.
always stay on brand. Yeah.
Okay, so roundtable last questions. John, anything?
No, I'm good. I'm
Jeff?
cool.
Does your Tickle Me Elmo still have batteries?
Yeah, it's getting a little weak.
Okay.
It's getting a little weak. I do kind of play with him quite a bit. It's
That's the show, folks.
It's
All
a wrap.
right,
now you have to check the explicit, right?
Yeah, that's right. Lori, so one, where can folks find you on the socials if they are so inclined?
I am everywhere.
She
Everywhere
is.
under
She
I am
literally
everywhere. On at Dracaena Wines. Again, stick to the same name over and over again.
Where's your big hitters? Where do you spend your most time on the socials?
Twitter and Instagram.
You've
are my
been
biggest.
blowing the hell up out of Instagram lately.
Thank you. I got it. You know what? Amber, is, and I wish Travel Eats. What's her new?
Travel Wine Eats.
Travel Wine Eats, because she just changed the names. She has helped me out so much and has given me so many tips. And you started curating a lot of stuff that it seems to have really driven up your engagement as well. Yeah, she gave me the little tip that because she's like, you got to post more often. And my comment was, I don't live that exciting of a life. Like, and I don't, and she's like, people want to see it. I'm like, all right, and then she did one thing. It doesn't need to be your photo, and that was the key. That was the key.
Yep.
So now when I'm liking other people's posts and stuff, I take their photos that related to Paso or related to wine. That was the other thing. She said definitely stick to one thing. Let them know who you are.
Yeah.
So I've been doing that, and it's awesome. The people who you're reposting from like it because they're getting more exposure.
Yep.
But yeah, since the Wine Bloggers Conference, I like 400 new followers.
Nice.
So
that's awesome.
I was stuck for a long time.
Yep. All right, so folks, definitely this is one to check out. This is a wine to get if you're looking for something you knew and you haven't tried. I really do recommend giving Lori's wine a shot. I am tearing through this bottle very quickly because I just can't stop. I just can't stop myself. So it's so good. So, Lori, thank you for joining us. You're going to stick around with us for the rest of this nonsense, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Excellent. All right. Well, let's do it. And let's get here we go, Lori. You've listened to it how many times? Now it's time to get into grape hop or pop culture reference. This is where I give these guys a term and they tell me if it's a wine grape, a beer hop, or a pop culture reference. The term this week is Breton. So is Breton a wine grape, a beer hop, or a pop culture reference? Jeff Solomon, I believe it is your turn to kick it off.
Can you spell that, please?
B-R-E-T-O-N.
B-R-E-T-O-N. Are there any accentos?
There are not.
Any umlauts?
No umlauts.
Can I get a country of origin?
You cannot.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The word this week is break trunk.
Well played. Well played.
You know, the thing is, you're saying it in a very like Ecclesian manner, where I feel like you're revealing, if not the country of origin, like somewhere close. Like this is something European.
You want me to say Breton?
Breton.
The term this week is Breton. All right, it's Breton, Solomon.
No, it's too late.
Okay,
It's too late.
All right.
This is it's from France.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know of many hops from France.
Not a lot.
And I know Jeff doesn't like to watch French films because he can't read. No. I'm gonna go with this is a French wine grape from the Loire Valley. I bet you this is like another name for Cabernet Franc. That's what I think.
I'm gonna skip Lori. Because she's doing too much of a dance right now, and go to John Ruyak.
Well, at first I thought it was like some sort of weird crouton, and then I'm thinking maybe it's a breed of dog. But yeah, I don't know. I'll turn it over to our guests. Let's see what she has to say, because I don't have a guess.
Hey man, you don't get to leave it blank when you have a 33.3 with a line over it chance of getting it right. Make a guess. Don't be afraid to be wrong.
Pop culture reference. It's a pop culture reference.
All right. God damn you, Jeff Solomon. Lori, what do you think?
Let me think. It's a tough one. Grape.
It is a grape. Very well done. It is the Middle Loire name for Cabernet Franc.
Cab Franc, baby.
Like,
well, talk about serving one up on a plate.
Did you see the light bulb just kind of start?
yes, I did. I saw your eyes just light up because we can see your eyes now. It's not just facial hair blocking everything.
What do you?
I was so upset. I purposely put that gif up there for you, and it's not there anymore.
You put what?
The picture of the guy with the beard and
Brian Wilson breaking a bat over his beard. Let me tell you something. So here's the great thing about shaving a beard that you've been growing for 3 months. Is like that first strip that you shave off, nature abhors a vacuum, right? So this big gust of wind just starts running right up my chin, and it blows all these like 2.5-inch facial hairs up my nose. And I don't think I've ever sneezed so hard, and I've never seen a booger look that gross before.
Jeez.
Oh, listeners, be sure to check out our Instagram and Twitter feeds for some amazing pictures of Jeff while he was going through the shaving process.
That would have gone viral.
It sounds like there would be lots of viruses in it.
Yeah, and bacterial. We don't discriminate.
All right, great job on grape hop or pop culture reference. You guys did a great job. Obviously, since we're pushing an hour already, we're gonna skip the booze news this week, and we're gonna get right into what's up. So, what do we have our eyes on, or what do we have coming up? Because it is a truckload. John Ruyak.
So last week, I absolutely promised you that things would be moving forward with the big system at the brewery. So we got the kettle burner going. We got the hot liquor tank burner going. We got the glycol going today. I shouldn't say we. I didn't have anything to do with the glycol. I just watched and stayed out of the way while I brewed. But the guys got the glycol running today. So tomorrow, all the switches get turned on all at once. So we're going to brew some Chimay Silver tomorrow.
Nice.
So is it going to be a water test, or are you going to actually brew?
No, it's a water test, but we're going to
Okay.
put the water through its paces. We're going to heat it up in the hot liquor tank, transfer it to the mash tun. We're actually going to Vorloff. We're going to clarify the water by whirlpooling it and sending it back into the mash tun. And then we're going to boil it, and then we're going to put it through the plates, and then we'll sanitize some piping and sanitize some fermenters and cool down some water from 210 degrees to 68, and just pray and knock on wood and do a little dance if it actually works.
Excellent. That's exciting, man. I'm excited for you guys.
Yeah, I'm excited to brew 10 times as much beer at once as I do now. That'd be cool.
I bet you are. Try and get some pictures of it. If you can get some good pictures of just the rain falling down from the
all the various different things that leak. Yeah, we'll do that.
I pray that it's not scalding hot rain, John.
Jeff Solomon.
Hey, check out my new videos on StayRadWineblog.com. It's been a long time. Kara was out visiting some friends the other night, and I had some time on my hands, and I busted open a beautiful wine from Castello di Amorosa, their La Castellana, which is like their super Tuscan. Awesome Cabernet Sauvignon Sangiovese based blend. But I did 2 videos because it also came with a wax seal. So I showed everybody how to open up a bottle of wine with a wax seal on it. I was really happy with how that turned out. So if you go to StayRadWineblog.com or, find me on YouTube, I don't know. All my students find me on YouTube, so you can find me too.
Did you stick it in the microwave to melt the wax?
Yes, I did want to give it. Well, thanks for giving it.
How do you put the wine bottle in there and keep the door open and get it to start? I don't get that.
Also, I do want to say this. I've been very inspired. Old buddy of mine did a lot of movie reviews back in the day, and I remember him talking about this movie called Le Moustache. It's a movie from France about this dude whose entire adult life he had a mustache, and then one day he decides, he's like, you know what, F the world, and he shaves his mustache, and then he goes to work. And nobody says anything about it, and he's just feeling very weird feelings, how come, why, do they not care about me? What's going on? He goes home, he starts complaining to his wife, I can't believe these mother effers, and I've worked for them for this long, and they didn't even say anything about how I shaved my mustache. And his wife looks at him and says,
What are you
talking about? You've never had a mustache before. And his whole world gets flipped upside down. So I'm going to go try to find that and watch Le Moustache this in the next couple of days.
Is that like the red balloon we used to watch back in school way back in the day?
Of all of 159 episodes of stupid tangents that we've gone on, that takes the cake for the craziest tangent I think I've ever heard.
Well, it took damn near an hour before anyone said anything about my beard, and I was feeling very self-conscious about it.
We got into your beard 30 seconds into seeing you.
Okay.
Anything else, Jeff? Did you want to touch on the super moon again? Because we haven't talked.
What I'm saying is you need to talk about me more. More Jeff on the show is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, Lori, I know you don't have anything in here, but a quick follow-up question. I know you're starting to bottle your rosé on February 1st. When will it be available for purchase? Do you know yet? Or
well, we are planning for March. That's a beautiful thing about rosé. But we've got to taste it and make sure that it's all right before we release it. But
so if all goes well, March we can get the rosé.
But nothing preventing you from pre-ordering. I mean, it's on the website. You can
it is.
Yeah.
So just when they go in time for rosé season is what I'm
saying. You know, I kind
All right. And, we talked about at the beginning of the show with Jeff's bottle of wine. Next week on the show, we will have Tom Lutz, the founder of Report, on the show to talk about his product. I still don't think I'll open up that 3-month experiment I've got going on over there. But look for him to be on the show next week. Lori, anything else?
No, I think we're, I can't think of anything. We're good.
All right, excellent. Oh my goodness, we have not done this in a while, so there must be some snake stories. Jeff Solomon, why don't you lead us into this?
Bo, 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 bo-de-do. John Ruyek's got a storm rain.
Lori, do you have a pillow?
I'll try to keep it brief. So, we have this consultant in, and his name's Drew, and Annie knows him. He's from the Santa Cruz area, and it's Thursday morning, and it's his first date. He's just trying to catch the lay of the land and everything. And all of a sudden, Barb, the manager of Coconuts, comes running downstairs. There's a snake upstairs. There's a snake upstairs. I say, where's the snake? Oh, it's near the tree where I smoke my cigarettes. So I go upstairs. And I'm looking around. I see this snake on the wall. I go, oh, shit, that's a road garter. They're famous for having bites that make you bleed forever. So I'm like, I'll just put my hand on it and I'll grab it. And I'm like,
why not?
Why not? It has been voted the most likely rear-fanged or apistoglyphus snake to cause a death in the New World. So I grabbed this 18-inch snake by the neck. And I know that they make you bleed, but I didn't know they could bite sideways. This stupid mofo turned its jaw one way and bit me the other way and bit me on my finger in 3 different spots. And I was bleeding for 6 hours.
Oh my God.
6 hours.
Squeezy. Hey, anybody driving, pull over real quick.
You might have needed a PSA announcement before that.
Yeah. So anybody, so I actually got invited to share my story on a Facebook page called the Venom Interviews. This guy here in Costa Rica named Ray, who runs this website that people can go in and tell their stories about being envenomated by snakes. So I filled out a whole survey for that and submitted all this stuff. But yeah, you know what, folks, if you know what a road garter is, don't mess with those SOBs. They're not fun.
So
wait, how many times have you been bitten?
Oh God.
Well, by snakes in general, thousands of times, but by venomous snakes twice. That one and one before about 10 years ago.
I thought you had
suck that out,
No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Don't do that.
That's a falsehood.
You know how your body works, Lori. Think about how quickly everything's moving around in your blood.
I thought you'd been bit by 2 rattlesnakes.
It was not fun working with a rubber glove on for the rest of the day.
I was gonna say, what does that brew get up? The blood
There's
of
your
John.
blood moon brew. There's your blood moon brew.
Yeah. Whoa, man! I just drank this beer and my arms are heavy.
Well, we're glad you're okay, and you're still not bleeding. You're done bleeding, yeah.
You know what? I came back to the house and I knocked my finger on something while I was washing the dishes, and it started bleeding again. So yes, it was occasionally still bleeding up to 12 hours after that bite. It was, yeah. Wow. And I'm still getting Facebook questions about it a week later.
Fantastic. That was the best John's Got a Story since the bull.
Yeah. So do you have superpowers now? Can you eat a sandwich sideways? Is that? Yes, I could stick to a wall and eat a sandwich sideways.
Oh. Yeah, no, but only if it's a smoked whale testicle sandwich on rye.
Careful, those got some spray to them.
Oh shit!
All right, well, if all that just happened, it must be.
Last call.
Last call. Time to clean house, bite sideways, bleed, and brew a
For
beer
12 hours.
for 12 hours as John tips back beer number 3 at this point.
2.
All right, folks. So this is the time where we try to lock the place up and give you guys a little bit of homework to go do. So, John Ruyak.
Yeah.
We like to ask our listeners to do some stuff for us during this part of the show. I think you're getting a little of beer juice in your beer. There,
I'm all right. I just need something to pop my head
what
up.
is something that what is one of the things we like to ask our listeners to help us out with?
Well, you can follow us on the socials. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We like drinking 1. That's the numeral 1. That'd be a cool thing for you to do.
That's right. And on Facebook and Instagram, it's just at We Like Drinking. And Lori, again, to follow Dracaena Wines is just at Dracaena Wines everywhere.
At Dracaena Wines everywhere. Like literally everywhere.
You didn't have some jackass college kid grab Dracaena Wines on Twitter and send one post and then never do it again?
Yeah, well, I kind of cursed him out for you.
Thank you.
That doesn't surprise me. Let's see. Also we talked about a little bit before. We could use the likes and the reviews on the Apple Podcast /iTunes. So go out there, search up We Like Drinking, give us a big fat 5-star review or 4-star. We got another 4-star review this week. Jeff Solomon, I think we even got a review, didn't we?
We did. I don't have it out in front of me right now, but it was a lovely review, and I'm frantically searching for it, Jeff, because I would love to read it on the air.
Okay, so while you're doing that, you can also while you're there, search up Dracaena Wines, give her podcast a big fat 5-star review, and let her know what you think of Winefabet Street. What we didn't ask? You guys are up to I now?
We are up to I next month. Yeah, February is I.
And I can't remember. What is I?
So I got I while we were at Wine Bloggers Conference because I was asking while we were at, Jeff's house, sabering all over the place.
Right.
Itata. So it is a wine region in Chile.
Oh, nice. That's
Yes.
Exciting.
Of course, I left there thinking it was a wine region in Italy.
It's what happens when all the oxygen is sucked out of a clown car.
And the big thing you can do, folks, if you really want to help us out, if you want to become a Uber helper of the show, visit WeLikeDrinking.com/pledge to find out how you can become a member of the Patreon membership program. This is a big time help for us. This is what helps us fund the show, all our hosting fees, banking, mailboxes, shipping. And there's other fun stuff you get. You get t-shirts, you can get coffee mugs, you can get stickers. You get to help us decide what we're going to drink every month. Oh, John's saying no. Just
so Jeff can buy some equipment so me and the other Jeff can hear stuff during the show.
Yeah, that would be a big help. We only need like $20 more before we could go buy that stuff.
Oh,
so visit WeLikeDrinking.com/pledge to find out how you can help us out. And it really means the world to us if you can do that. So Jeff Solomon, did we get another review this week?
Yeah, we got a 4-star review from our listener pal, TB Doggy Dog, on Friday. He called it a fun educational podcast. If you're looking for a podcast that feels like you're hanging with your boys, but your boys are knowledgeable about wine and beer, you should give this one a listen. TB Doggy Dog, thank you so much. I do have to say, like, I feel like that's the best compliment we've ever been given by anyone. Whenever people are like, it's like I'm listening to my friends. Stacey Lewis Briscoe says that. Annie Wolf Pouch says that. I'm going to speak for Lori. She's thinking that all the time. So thank you, Doggy Dog. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, TB Doggy Dog. That's an awesome review. Thank you for the 4 stars.
Well, who subscribed this week?
What's that?
Who subscribed this week?
I don't know.
That's
can
like
tell?
the name of your segment, Jeff.
Oh, that? Wait, what? Hold on. Hold on. Let me take another drink.
John was trying to be all hip and like,
Right. John's trying
There
to
was
segue me, and I'm just like oblivious. Oh, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, it must be time for something. There it is. Wait, who subscribed? Where I take a quote from someone fictional or non-fictional and twist it around to relate to our podcast somehow. I haven't said that in a long time. Man, things are getting really out of whack. All right, here we go. Lori, I think, is going to get this one.
Uh-oh.
Jeff has
That's a lot
no
of pressure.
chance. Jeff has no chance at it. John, I'm on the fence. That's how I think this is going to play out. All right, here we go. I'm going to drop down to 168 and wrestle Shoot. Shoot's a monster, a genuine geratoid. His own father has to use a live wire to keep him from banging the fireplace. All right. Let's see. I did this one in honor of Lori.
Of me?
Yeah.
Oh,
You have to keep scoring wrestling tournaments.
Oh, yeah. I just sit there and score.
Okay,
I'm gonna go.
so
Wait. What's that movie with Tom Cruise when he wrestled? Is that it?
I don't think
That's
there's
like from like 50,000 years ago.
I know.
don't know
He's sitting on the pipes trying to lose weight. Yeah,
I don't think that was
it's
Tom
that one.
Cruise.
Yeah, it was Tom Cruise.
And he was a wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you guys got me. I don't
It was,
know.
it was like the Hoosiers, only about wrestling.
Yeah. Like
Yeah,
all the
I'm
right
going
moves.
with-
All the
I'm
right
going
moves.
with I'm going with Jersey Boys.
I love you,
Okay.
John.
here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
All right. I'm envisioning like it just sounded like super cheesy and corny and stuff and
Yeah.
about wrestling.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like this movie that came out with like it was like David Arquette. And I want to say it was called like Ready to Rumble or something like that. Am I close?
No.
Well, shit, man.
No, you're not. Even
Now you
close.
did say something in there that was really close to it. You said something about you're having this vision.
Vision Quest.
Yeah, there it is. And the crowd is silent. If you have Jeff Solomon, you hate all movies. You would even like Vision Quest 4.
Vision Quest.
I love movies. I'm gonna go watch
It's a good
The
movie.
Mustache this weekend.
Yeah, you want to watch Le Mustache? Vision Quest is an awesome 80s movie.
It actually is. And that
Matthew-
actually might be the movie I was thinking about that I thought was Tom Cruise.
I think it is. Where the
It's
whole
the
thing is
movie I was
about
thinking.
cutting weight to get down to wrestle
Yeah.
shoot. Yeah.
That is the movie I was thinking of. I just
Come
thought
on,
it
there
was
wasn't
Cutting weight to
wasn't
wrestle a fireplace. What?
there wasn't a single good movie made in the 80s. Like name
Oh.
one.
You're off the show.
Aside from
yeah.
Rad or Gleaming the Cube. Like
All
there's
right,
no-
Return of the
moving
Jedi.
on. You can also find the show notes for this episode with all the links to the stories or mentions we had at welikeDrinking.com/shit show. I mean podcast. All right. This was a lot of fun, but it's a time where I get to say, okay, panel, let's take one last trip around this table and get some final thoughts before we shut off the lights. John Ruyak.
Seriously, folks, if you didn't like this episode, stop listening to the show.
May as well. We may as well just end it with that. Lori, any final thoughts here?
Oh, please vote for me so I can go to Bordeaux.
So go visit melissa.com or just check out dracenawines.com to get that link to the Melissa site. Jeff Solomon, any final thoughts?
Yeah, next month, Wine Fabet Street is doing Itata. Apparently, the grape was chosen by Beavis and Butthead. Itata!
We must be well over an hour because the rails have so the train is so gone off the track. And I'll just say, Lori, thank you for being the hyperactive, over the top, sarcastic jet setter that you are, and giving us Dracaena Wines and meeting us at the Wine Bloggers Conference and coming on our little crazy show. It has been great to get to know you, and it is a true honor that you came on the show with us this week.
Oh,
really
thank you. I really love you guys. I love you too, John. I just never met you personally.
Thanks.
And we cannot wait to try the rosé and
Thank
the
you.
Reserve Cab Franc.
Thank you.
So
I'm pretty excited.
Good luck with that. I know it's going to be awesome. And with that, I'll say thanks again for joining us at the We Like Drinking podcast.
Itata!
As usual, here's our show. It's climbing. It's doing great. It's doing great. It's doing a great 42 minutes. Boom. Off a cliff. All right.